It's Friday, May 30th. In the headlines, the government plans to expand its reintegration and rehabilitation strategy for returning residents. In business news, Bank of Jamaica governor warns banks about their reluctance to reduce interest rates. Regionally, massive Colombian asphalt plant launched in Guyana. And in sports, the Reggae Girls to face the United States on June 3. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. It has been reported that the United States authorities intend to deport some 4,000 Jamaicans as part of the sweeping immigration crackdown by President Donald Trump. Now, Cabinet has approved the establishment of a National Technical Working Group on voluntary and involuntary migrants, led by the Planning Institute of Jamaica. The matter was discussed at Thursday's post-cabinet press brief. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, clarified the matter by explaining that the returnees will not be returning all at once.
For some time, it has been in the public domain that the U.S. authorities had close to 4,000 persons in their records with final orders for deportation against their names. It is now our understanding that approximately 2,500 have been confirmed for removal over a period of time.
She says the return of Jamaican residents is not a new phenomenon.
Jamaica has facilitated the repatriation of its citizens under established international arrangements. We receive our citizens when they are returned to us. Just as we expect and we do repatriate foreign nationals who commit serious crimes or breaches of our immigration laws, we respect the right of other countries to so do.
The minister also announced the formation of a technical group tasked with coordinating reintegration services for Jamaicans returning from abroad voluntarily and involuntarily.
And the technical group comprises several ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as civil society partners. Its mandate is to coordinate reintegration services and to ensure that returnees are supported in a structured, sustainable manner. And this includes their reception, verification, health checks, security, vetting, and access to social and legal support.
The minister addressed concerns about returnees with criminal records.
Monitoring and detention measures are in place. They will be applied.
She further clarified that returnees are not a homogeneous group, distinguishing between those who voluntarily choose to return and those who are deported after legal decisions. Outgoing General Secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation, Dennis Chung, is set to take over leadership of the Financial Investigations Division, FID. However, his appointment has been met with speculation about the selection process and his qualification. Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon defended the selection process and other concerns while addressing a post-cabinet press brief on Thursday.
Every single senior appointment in government goes through a process. There is a process that we go through. The position is advertised. Individuals apply. There is a panel that's put together that shortlists candidates. And then there is an interview process that takes place. And there is scoring. The members of the committee score each of the persons. And then they make a selection. So there is a process that would have been followed. And from all the information I've been given, that process was followed.
Jamaica's educators have been hailed as the backbone of national development, with Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness calling them activators of potential. He made the remarks during a special ceremony at Jamaica House, where dozens of outstanding teachers were recognized for their service. Danita Rodney reports.
79 educators from across the island were honored with the Prime Minister's Medal of Appreciation for Service to Education, a national tribute to teachers who have served with distinction for at least 15 years. The biannual awards ceremony held on the lawns of Jamaica House recognized 39 educators for 2023 and 40 for 2024. But Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness made it clear this was more than just a medal.
This award is a statement, a clear national declaration that says, you matter. Your service matters. Your commitment counts. Your legacy is very much real.
Dr. Holness also noted that reforms are on the way to transform the education sector, guided by the recommendations of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission.
So the transformation that we are seeking is to get the greatest utility out of the significant education budget that we spend, so that we can produce Jamaicans who are aligned to our economic interests, who are pro-social and pro-growth in their outlook, in their mentality, and in their attitudes.
He reaffirmed the government's commitment to strengthening teacher development and expanding opportunities from the classroom to the workplace.
We will continue to invest in teacher development, support school leaders, and modernize education infrastructure. My administration will continue to expand pathways from school to work, from trading to industry, and from classroom to leadership. Our nation's greatest resource is not in the ground. Our beaches are in the sky. Our greatest resource is our people. The P in my administration's Aspire growth strategy is people. You, our educators, are the ones who shape our people every single day.
With committed and capable educators at the helm, Dr. Holness says Jamaica is well positioned to face the future of education together. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Danita Rodney.
Jamaica's next general election is constitutionally due this year. In the last two elections, which were held, the general and local government, the voter turnout was less than 40%. To strengthen democracy by ensuring broader presentation, some people have posed the question, should voting be mandatory? Our reporter Chanel Matthews took to the streets to get the answer.
Chanel, and this is Unfiltered. The question for today is, do you think voting should be mandatory? Why or why not?
No, I don't think it should be mandatory because it is your right and it's your choice. What if the options are not what you would like? I don't think somebody should force you to choose what you don't want to choose. So I think it should be non-mandatory and leave it at the person's choice whether or not they're going to vote or not.
Throughout the entire universe, people normally vote, right? We're supposed to vote for a better constitution or constitutional right. But because of all the things that's going in Jamaica, most people don't want to really vote because they want to see better, and most people say they're not seeing anything for them to vote for. So most people lay back and don't want to vote, but I think we should vote for better.
It should be mandatory because everybody complain. So you can't complain to the road full of pothole if you never vote for somebody who did go fix the pothole. Everybody feel it. Once upon a time, crime and violence only did affect downtown and the garrison. Now Cherry Gardens have Zozo and everybody have to have a camera and everywhere for grill up. So why not vote?
Voting shouldn't. It's supposed to be free willingly because it based on all you see if a person can run a country I don't fit enough. So if me not see you fit enough run country, me not go by what you say, me not do what you say. Me not go by nothing what you say. So basically it's up to me if me want to vote for you, yes or no.
No, I don't think it should be mandatory. You should have your free will because God gave everybody choices. All right? So you have a choice to vote or not to vote.
No, well, I think you should have a choice. You should have a choice to choose who you want. Or if you don't want, you're supposed to have your choice to do that.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Richard Biles, governor of the Bank of Jamaica, recently warned commercial banks of competitive pressure they will face by their reluctance to bring down interest rates at the most recent BOJ quarterly monetary policy press conference on Tuesday, May 21, 2025. Earlier this month, the Bank of Jamaica made the decision to reduce the policy rate by 25 basis points from 6% to 5.75% per annum. Yet, the commercial banks state that until the asset tax is removed, they cannot bring down rates as quickly as the public would like. In Jamaica, there are 11 deposit-taking institutions, and according to the BOJ, 60% of all deposits are with 2 banks. That said, Governor Biles noted, when you look at the total financial market, the commercial banks have approximately half, and non-banks have the other half. Non-banks have been very responsive to rates going up and rates coming down. What the banking community needs to look out for is if the non-banking community starts to lend to their customers. It is a risk they run if they remain stubborn and insensitive to rates coming down. Companies listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange have reported executives buying and selling shares, as well as passive income for investors. Jamaican Teas Limited has advised that on May 22, 2025, 2 directors each exercised options to purchase 2,400,000 Jamaica Tea shares pursuant to long-term share options granted to them. The company has further advised that on May 28, 2025, a director sold 1,892,903 Jamaica Teas shares. Next, Jetcon Corporation Limited has advised that a connected party purchased a total of 200,000 Jetcon shares during the period May 16 to 27, 2025. Supreme Ventures Limited has advised that on May 27, 2025, a director purchased 319,424 Supreme Ventures shares and a related party sold 319,424 Supreme Ventures shares. And now we turn to passive income for investors. Kingston Wharves Limited has advised that the Board of Directors at a meeting scheduled for June 4, 2025 will consider a dividend payment to shareholders. Scotia Group Jamaica Limited has advised that the Board of Directors at a meeting scheduled for June 5, 2025 will consider a dividend payment to shareholders. For the trading period ending May 29, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Online education provider One-on-One Educational Services Limited with 5,385,401 units traded, representing 17.89% of market sales volume. investment firm Sterling Investments Limited with 3,412,838 units traded, representing 11.34% of market sales volume. Toll Road Manager Jamaica Highway Limited with 3,214,420 units traded, representing 10.68% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On May 29, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $60.68 million purchased and US $66.63 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.49 per dollar, selling the US at $160.24 and buying the US at $158.75. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.45 per transaction, with selling at $116.15 and buying at $114.77. The British pound yielded Forex traders $8.41 in profit, with selling at $217.17 and buying at $208.76. For our credit report tip of the day, think of your credit score as capital, not just a number, but a financial asset that can help you buy income-producing real estate without draining your savings. Whether you're looking at rental properties, house hacking, or short-term vacation homes, lenders make funding decisions based largely on how your credit ranks. A solid credit score doesn't just get you approved, it gets you better terms, lower interest rates, and access to creative financial options that can boost your return on investment from day one. If you're not using your credit score to generate monthly income and long-term equity, you are leaving money on the table. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, Guyana's President, Dr. Mohamed Ifraan Ali, has welcomed what he calls a gateway to stronger ties between Guyana and Colombia. The massive Jamaica asphalt plant officially opened Wednesday evening. The Colombian-owned facility, launched in Guyana in 2024, is expected to boost the country's growing construction sector with its supply of asphalt and stone aggregates. The ribbon-cutting ceremony saw the presence of President Ali, former Colombian President Ivan Duque, and officials from Guyana's investment office and private sector.
Today, mined out sand pits are the new home for asphalt plants, cement plants. Mined out sand pits. Today, on this Linden Soestdijk Highway, tens of millions of US dollars, billions of Guyanese dollars, tens of billions of dollars is being invested here on this new corridor of development. And this corridor of development is not only hardcore industrial investment, it is a mix of investment that tells the story of the diversity of the Guyanese economy. So if you go down this highway in the last 4 years, you will see tens of millions of US dollars invested in agriculture, sustainable and resilient agriculture. A new dairy plant that is coming on stream alone, more than 25 million US dollars. New super hydroponic facility, nursery facility, millions of US dollars investment. Tourism facility, lakefront communities, a new city, new areas of urbanization, manufacturing, value creation. All of these forms part of this massive transformation that is taking place along this corridor. And in the coming 5 years, the transformation that is taking place along this corridor is going to be so immense that the value creation is going to be unbelievable.
When I first visited Guyana in your administration, President Ali, we both sat together and talked about why Guyana represents an opportunity for the world. And I do believe that Guyana has the right balance of a country that is taking the opportunity of transnational energy, traditional energy, by using the richness of the underground to defeat the poverty underground. And at the same time, Guyana is a superpower of biodiversity, of nature, a country that has the lowest deforestation rate in the Amazon biome, a country that has more than 95% of its territory in tropical forest, and that has experienced a low-carbon development strategy for more than a decade.
According to the United Nations Development Programme, what positions Trinidad and Tobago as a leader compared to neighboring Caribbean countries in the field of technology and artificial intelligence is the fact that the country has a high level of human development. Thus, it believes the future of AI development in Trinidad and Tobago is promising. Sherilyn Lewis tells us more.
UNDP-TT sees artificial intelligence as a powerful tool to accelerate inclusive development, and now with a Ministry of Artificial Intelligence, the organization's focus is to support the government in their goals for an AI-driven society.
Resident Representative for the United Nations Development Programme for Trinidad and Tobago, Hugo Blanco, believes decades of investment in education, health, and in people's quality of life in TNT have positioned the country to be a potential leader in technology and artificial intelligence. And Mr. Blanco shared his views on government's Ministry of AI.
Having AI as part of a ministry, it's a very bold step in including AI in the way the government, but also our nation is gonna work, because AI is gonna change virtually everything. It's already changing the way we operate. It's changing the way citizens are benefiting from the services the national institutions are providing. AI can benefit farmers in Tobago or can predict floods in Diego Martin. So having that vision to say, I want AI to be at the center of the way our government is going to work is a very, very strong statement, if you ask me.
Mr. Blanco believes that with AI implementation in the country, important discussions surrounding policy, legislation, and inclusion need to be had.
AI is going to push policymakers to take some stakes on cybersecurity, at infrastructure, at economic diversification, because we are small countries. I have worked in about 14 countries in the Caribbean. And let me tell you that Trinidad and Tobago is ahead of the game in many aspects of this digital revolution. So that's good news. I mean, the good ranking of high human development in Trinidad and Tobago is the result of decades of investment. We have to be, and policymakers have to be aware of what's the cake. And the cake are data sets. The cake is cybersecurity. The cake is who owns that data. And what, because that's the foundations that AI is going to use, is going to pull from to give us that information.
One of the key areas of concern for the UNDP is inclusion, ensuring no one is left behind on this AI thrust, and that there's equality and support to lesser groups, especially as the UNDP views AI as one of the biggest technological revolution of this era.
In 5 years, AI will be predicting what kind of crops we will be having. It will be adding value to the value chains. I know economic diversification has to be a priority for a country like Trinidad and Tobago. AI is going to bring us many different scenarios, and for that, it's going to determine the labor market, which is going to determine the sort of education we need. That's going to change a lot.
It's the UNDP's understanding that artificial intelligence holds transformative potential for developing nations. By harnessing AI responsibly and inclusively, developing countries can accelerate economic growth, improve quality of life, and build more resilient societies.
We begin the sports report with football news. Jamaica's Reggae Girls will face the United States, the world #1 ranked team, in an international friendly on June 3. This match is set to be held at the Energizer Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. The Reggae Girls are also scheduled to play England on June 29 in Leicester. The games are part of Jamaica's preparations for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup qualifiers. We go to athletics. Trevor Gonzell of the University of Alabama and Alia Foster of the University of Texas secured their spots at the NCAA Division I Outdoor Championships following strong performances at their respective regional meets on Thursday. Mr. Gonzell achieved a throw of 19.23 meters in the men's shot put, ranking 5th at the East First Round held at the University of Jacksonville in Florida. This performance earned him his first appearance at the national championships, scheduled for June at Haywood Field in Oregon. Meanwhile, Alia Foster finished 4th in the women's long jump at the Western Regionals hosted by Texas A&M University in College Station, Texas, with a leap of 6.44 meters. Her result ensures a consecutive trip to the national championships. Over to cricket, as England delivered a ruthless performance to defeat West Indies by 238 runs in the first one-day international at Edgbaston, taking a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. Nasira Mohammed reports.
After being asked to bat first, England posted a mammoth 400 for 8 from their 50 overs, powered by a blistering 82 of 53 deliveries from Jacob Bethel and rapid contributions from the top order. Ben Dockett, 60, Joe Root, 57, Captain Harry Brook, 58, and Will Jacks, 39 of just 24 deliveries, all piled on the runs in a dominant display. The innings maintained a high tempo throughout, with the team finishing at an impressive run rate of 8 runs per over. Jaden Seals was the pick of the West Indian bowlers, claiming 4 wickets for 84 runs, while Justin Graves picked up 2 for 68. However, the visitors were made to pay heavily for errant bowling, conceding 24 extras, including 10 wides. In reply, the West Indies crumbled to 162 all out in just 26.2 overs, unable to cope with England's relentless pace and disciplined attack. Jaden Seals top scored with 29 not out of 14 deliveries, and Gudakesh Moti, 18 of 11, offered a late resistance in the innings. Captain Shea Hope scored 25, with no other batter crossing that score, as wickets fell at regular intervals. England's bowlers shared the spoils, with Jamie Overton leading the way with 3 for 22, Saqib Mahmood 3 for 32, and Adil Rashid 2 for 50, while Bryden Cass and Jacob Bethel chipped in with 1 apiece. The 238-run margin marks the second heaviest defeat in West Indies ODI history and underlines the challenge they face to bounce back in the remaining matches. The second ODI is scheduled for Sunday in Cardiff, with the men in maroon desperately needing a response to stay alive in the series.
And that's it for the weekend news. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.